Okay, my other video got interrupted, which is fine. Um, so I'll start again. Um, it's been a while. I missed all my friends that are on here. I hope you're doing well. I was having some, um, issues that had me just stepping away from YouTube and the internet, just for me, because I was just too busy. So, I hope y'all are doing well. Yes, I said y'all. I am from Texas. So, okay, let's get into what I want to talk about. There is a YouTube channel / Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, MLM, multiple YouTube channels attached to this one channel called Fathering Autism. Now, I used to watch it originally just because it was interesting. They talked about different products for people with autism, different therapies, different things. And it was interesting in the beginning. Okay? And then it started to get a little exploitive, and I want to talk about that. So, for those of you who don't know what it is, Fathering Autism is a father. Well, it's a parent group. But it's two parents who have a special needs daughter who is now 16, who is a child who is nonverbal. So she's unable to sign or consent to being on camera in the first place. So let's get that on there. And sometimes she signs or puts the camera away so that she doesn't want to be on camera. But they're always putting this camera in her face. They have pretty much built a YouTube channel and a little social media empire off of exploiting this young girl. Like I said, I'm all for awareness. I'm all for showing the journey. I'm all for that. But when you're unable to consent, when you're unable to control what people put out there of you, and they're using it to make money, that's exploitation. Which I have a problem with. That being said, they use her for everything. They're making a ton of money off of their platforms. And if it was just on autism awareness, I would be fine. But when they get comments like, how does she use the restroom? And again, people are curious about people with disabilities, and I understand that. So instead of just answering, well, she needs assistance, they pretty much don't consider her dignity and will show her on the toilet. Now, of course, they're not showing her, taking off her undergarments or anything, but still, why does she need to be present to show how she uses the restroom? Again, that has nothing to do with autism awareness. Things like showing her sleeping. There was a vlog where they were showing her asleep. She is asleep. She's a teenager. That is creepy. You are a father. Why is that okay? Plus, they show her through doing therapies, things like that. A lot of times, a lot of therapists don't like to be on camera just because it violates the client-patient, therapist-patient HIPAA laws, but of course they don't care because she's a minor and they feel like, well, they can do whatever they want. So they show her therapies, they show everything, which might be good for autism awareness, might not be, because again, these things don't work for everybody. So they don't work. Their whole empire is on this young girl, their daughter. And again, she's 16, she's unable to consent, and they are constantly putting the camera in her face for everything. Everything this girl does, day by day, she's on camera. They don't show some things on there, and I get it, like her meltdowns, things like that, which I understand. But they do have up to 4 respite workers with her Now, again, they're working from home because they pretty much follow their daughter everywhere and document everything. Um, so that's their whole platform. So they're not working. So they have 2 able-bodied adults. Then they have up to 4 respite workers. Now, I understand you might need a little help. You might need a break. You might need something. But between the 8 hours of school, the multiple therapies, the parents often don't have to help with, there's just, when do they actually take care of her, in quote, fathering autism? They take her everywhere, whether she likes it or not. They ask her, but then they speak for her. Even if she says, no, I want a break. Because she can sign some things. But they rarely take those things into consideration. They sell merchandise. They sell all these things. Again, off of her. Which, again, is exploitive. She's not able to consent to any of it. Now, all the respite workers, like I said, they're normally college age, and they take care of her, which is great. But again, these parents are not doing anything, and they're touting how wonderful they are. They recently started a business. Well, again, they didn't work. They bought a business. I can't say they started one. They bought a business, which they stole a concept from. So pretty much, there's a place called Selfie World Jacksonville, which is their franchise. It didn't come from Jacksonville, didn't come from Florida, but pretty much 2 blocks away there was a place called Selfie Photography, which is a sort of museum type style where you go to different rooms and you take selfies, which is very cool. They had reached out to do an autism awareness program with this family, and instead of saying, oh great, we'll raise awareness, they took the idea and made it their own. Not only that, they said, well, we hire people with special needs. Now, the truth is, they only hired 9 people in total, and none of them are special needs. So that was a lie. The only person that's on the payroll is their daughter. And that's because they just snapped some pictures of her in there. They said it's a safe space for people with disabilities, but it's not accessible. And it's very sensory overload. Someone with autism or any sensory processing disorder would already find this place too much. But again, they're saying that they're hiring people with special needs, which they're not. And they pretty much stole the business idea. So they're virtue signaling with this idea of, because they're saying, oh, we have a daughter with special needs, this and that, and then they go talk about their business. And the way they phrase it is, well, some places hire people with special needs. But you don't. You're just saying that to make it appear like you do. And again, it's just very exploitive. Okay, so again, they have all these respite workers, all these people, but they use these people to help sell things as well. For instance, the mom not only has a little cooking side channel, but she has a, I guess, makeup channel where she sells makeup of some kind of like Mary Kay or something like that. I'm not sure what exactly the makeup brand is, but she sells it. And the way she sells it is she has her daughter, Abby, putting on this makeup. Now, her daughter cannot put on makeup on her own. So she's wiping this cream on this child, this wrinkle cream on a 16-year-old, number one. 16-year-old doesn't have wrinkles. But okay, she's unable to consent. She's unable to tell this person, no, I don't want stuff on my face. But she's moving around, she's moving her head, she's ducking, she's trying to wipe it off. and she has a respite worker hold this girl's hands while she puts cream on her to sell to an audience. That's very exploitive. Um, Again, so they show her in various situations where you just wouldn't want. I mean, there's no dignity preserved. They show her sleeping. They show her when she's trying to calm down. They talk about, her restroom habits. They show her, just sleeping. They always have a camera in her face. And it's too much. They use her for everything. They even have her on Instagram, I guess modeling for their Selfie World Jacksonville, which again, they stole the idea. Every time they talk about it, they talk about, their daughter with special needs and how it's not a death sentence. And nobody said it was death sentence. Those words are coming out of you. And she doesn't work there. Someone took a picture there. And they use her again to say, well, maybe she'll be there. Maybe you could meet her. Maybe, again, she doesn't want to meet these people. She can't meet these people. Why are you doing this? Why are you using this child as a platform? And they make a lot of money doing it. And I'm not talking about little, $1,000 here. I'm talking enough to pay their other son's tuition. I'm talking about to buy new cars, to buy a golf cart that is costing about the same as a car, a new house, trips, a boat. Everything is on the back of this young girl. When is it enough? How much exploitation is enough? And when anyone comes after them, and I'm not talking about like physically or anything like that. I'm talking about when they say, okay, this looks exploitive, or saying things like, their new business really isn't clean, really isn't working. They even say, we're not there during the day. So they bought a business, they hired 9 people without special needs, even though they said they hired people with special needs. And they're not even there. They just bought this business to make money. They stole the concept, they stole the idea. It's not even a local business. And for what? To make more money, to buy more junk. And this is the thing. They say that they need up to 4 respite workers with her. Maybe not all at one time, maybe taking shifts, maybe. But it's even when she's asleep. Why is there a respite worker when she's asleep for the night? That makes no sense. Unless she is doing something for the next day for this young girl, there's no reason. Now, I can understand if she's taking a nap and then she's going to wake up. But no. They put her to bed at a certain time, and then they still have this respite worker working as a maid to clean up. What are you doing? And so now they're doing this travel. They bought a huge trailer. Now, they've always said that their daughter needs a lot of room to run and play. And it does show that, when she's in the house, she runs around. She needs a lot of room. She has a lot of energy. So let's put her in a tiny trailer where she can't move, she can't run, she can't play, and stifle her, number 1. Number 2, they're traveling just for the fun of it. There's no real rhyme or reason for it. It's not raising awareness, it's just them traveling. It's a tiny little trailer, it's a tiny little RV. They've said that she doesn't like it. And the thing is, they don't have any respite workers there. It's just the 3 of them. So you can travel cross country and not need those respite workers, those individuals. Yet, when she's at home, you require all of that. Again, you're just using them as babysitters. And that's not what it's for. And then you're exploiting them as well because you're showing them on camera. And that's why you use young girls who don't mind being on camera. Don't mind, they want to boost their platform too. And they do. They have a platform, all their own, and they make money that way. So again, it's all exploitive. Everyone that interacts with this young girl, Abby, is exploiting her in some way, whether they want to believe it or not. That's what they're doing. And I have a problem with that because she cannot consent. She cannot say no. She cannot even ask them to get the camera out of her face because they put it literally right in her face. Whether she's sleeping, whether she's eating, whether she's in the pool, whatever she's doing, it's always there. And now they're traveling cross country with just the three of them. They're seeing how hard it is, but it's hard because the people that she trusts are not there. The respite workers. Because they were handling so much. And so either you need them or you don't. Because if you're able to go in a tiny trailer and go across country and manage this young girl and her issues, then obviously you don't need them. But again, you're going to hire them anyway because you don't want to deal with your daughter. You just want to exploit her. And that's not okay. You've taken someone's business. And when people comment about it, when people say, hey, this isn't right, you say, hey, you know what? Why don't you go get a job? Let me tell you something. A lot of the people that come after you have disabilities. Maybe autism. Maybe in a wheelchair. Maybe whatever, issues they have. They can't get a job. Now, Abby's in a weird position because, one, she can't work. She will never be able to work at a functional job without some sort of assistance all the time, some sort of monitoring, some sort of help, okay? But you're telling people who can't work because of the system, get a job. Well, okay. Let me use myself as an example. If I were to get a job, I would lose my medical benefits. And unless I started at a CEO position, I wouldn't be able to afford medical benefits for my complex needs. So you're pretty much telling people that are in your daughter's position in some way, because it is a disability community, you're pretty much telling the disability community, you know what, screw you, get a job. Even though I know you can't, but I'm going to rub it in how much money I have on the back of a person that normally would not be able to work. Okay? That's what I'm having trouble with. They're smug. They're always, someone called it virtue signaling, saying, oh, we're doing good in here, good in here. We helped, they talked about how they had somebody who was terminally ill and wanted to take selfie world. I don't know why he would do that, but okay, fine. And they said, oh, well, we let him in for free, and we closed the place, and, we took care of the fee. It was $20. Don't act like... And it was $20 for an hour. So you're making a ton of money. So why you have to virtue signal that you gave someone 20 minutes worth of time on a place that you own? I mean, it's just ridiculous. They've also shown Abby in situations where they're just neglectful. Like the mom Priscilla, and I'll use her name, was driving and her daughter had a bloody nose from whatever, but she had a bloody nose. Instead of turning the camera off and dealing with her child, she turned the camera on while she's driving, and just watched her daughter just full of blood on her face, and didn't stop, didn't say, you know what, let me take care of that, let me wipe her up, let me clean her up. No. Pretty much she said, okay, here. As she's driving her to school. So she let someone else deal with her. So she's never taken care of this child. Um, they've shown her on a boat where she, you know, got sick and, had a restroom issue of diarrhea. Why do you have to put that on camera? Why do you, what is it that you can't say, you know what, that's costing my child her dignity? Why do you have to show that? I know why, because you're making money off it. And pretty much throwing it in people's faces when they call you out on it. So, as someone who has a disability, someone who cannot work because of that disability, I'm saying something. Because people have said it in different communities, and they don't have disabilities, and that's fine. But this is ridiculous. It's exploitive. It's too much. And they don't have just one channel. Like I said, they have every person who deals with this person has a channel based on taking care of this girl. Her respite workers have one. Her brother has one. Her father has one. Her mother has two, plus one that she sells stuff on, plus a cooking channel. Nobody cares to watch this woman cook. Nobody cares what makeup she has on her face. They want to see this girl. They want to see Abby. And that's what they're banking on. Same thing with the business. They're saying, oh, well, maybe Abby will be there and you can meet her. And they're not. They're not even there. It's ridiculous. Now they're traveling cross country with this poor girl trapped in a trailer where she's not being cared for in the sense of her therapies. She's not being cared for in the sense of having room to run around and get her energy out. She's not having her needs met as far as respite care, so they're dealing with her all the time. It's just so exploitive. Even there was an issue where I guess a respite worker kind of took advantage and took her to her house, and the poor girl was soiled herself. There was a big thing, and then they looked for people on the internet to be this girl's respite worker instead of saying, we need to hire someone who's more professional, maybe someone over a certain age, maybe someone who can handle this. They had it like Star Search, so people who were fans of this girl who cannot consent, who cannot verbalize when there's something really wrong going on, to take care of her. This isn't Star Search. This is respite work. This is provider services. This is someone who will be in an intimate setting with your child, who is a minor, who is a teenager, who cannot say, someone's hurting me. And you're going to find some rando on the internet? I wish... I don't know. I wish someone would say, hey, this is ridiculous. And the thing is, people have called. They've called social services. And the thing is, because she's not being abused in the traditional sense, it's okay. But there is a lot of exploitation going on. They are making a living pretty much off of this girl. And then they're saying, well, it's for her when she's older. It'll be money to take care of her. And if that were true, why are you buying all this junk that she's not going to use instead of saving it for your children? Saving it for your child who is probably going to need assistance for the rest of her life. You're buying boats, you're buying cars, you're buying houses, you're buying businesses, you're buying property, you're buying RVs, you're traveling around the world. What are you putting away for her? And it's on the back of this person, on the back of this child, who cannot consent, who cannot tell you no. And when she does tell you no, you don't care. You put the camera in her face anyway. There's awareness and then there's exploitation. And that line was crossed a long time ago. gotten off my soapbox. I will try and put those links down there. It is Fathering Autism. I will also try and put, I guess, the keywords, so that you can link those two. Like I said, I don't voice my outrage on a lot of things as far as YouTube is concerned, and they are big, and they have a lot of support, and they have a lot of things. But again, when I see exploitation of somebody who has a disability and who cannot consent, I have a problem with it. It's too much. This is a community. This is a family. With people with disabilities. It is a community. It is a family. It is supposed to be people looking out for one another, and so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to sound the alarm, for people to take notice. Okay, I will talk to you hopefully soon. Have a good day.